Hi, it's Aaron here from the Confidence Coach and Virtual Trainer. Today, I'm going to show you some simple exercises going to help strengthen your shoulder joint and also reduce the chance of injury or help improve any weaknesses or imbalances you have within that area. So first, we're going to start with some shoulder retractions, and we're using a band here, but you can use a pair of tights or a different type of TheraBand entirely. And the main thing is you pull your shoulder blades together, you squeeze your arms straight and apart and try and squeeze behind your shoulder blades, activating the muscles within your shoulder blades and your back, your rhomboids, your trapezius and things like that. This helps reset any postural changes. Also, we're going to do some shoulder rotations. Same thing, using a band or tights. You can also use a flat bar as well. So try and slowly go over the top of your head. And if you have to pause at the top due to imbalances or lack of flexibility, take your time. But over time, as you do this, and the more you repeat it, the further you'll be able to get all the way over. Don't force it though. Just try and take your time and go at your own pace. Week 1 might be just above your head. Week 2 might be slightly further behind. Next, we're going to do some face pulls. So band is placed quite high, about head height. Your elbows go high. You retract your shoulder blades and you try and get your hands by either side of your ears. Keep your elbows nice and high and really pull those shoulder blades back and together. Next, we're going to stretch our lats out. So make sure your palms facing up towards the ceiling and you keep a nice straight back. Try and let your arm relax so the band is pulling your shoulder from its socket slightly. You should start to feel this stretch down your latissimus dorsi all the way down your back. And make sure you do both sides as well. One key tip is to make sure your posture is nice and strong. So push your hips out, really make sure you've got a nice flat back, and that will help feel that stretch a bit further. Next, we're going to have the band about chest to waist height. Keep your elbow tucked against your side and extend your arm out to the side. Keep your shoulder blade pinned back as well. This works a very important muscle on the rotator cuff, and it doesn't have to be very strenuous at all. This can also be done with weights. So here we're holding 1.25 kilo weights, and it's exactly the same exercise. So shoulders are pulled back, hands go out to the side, keeping your elbows tucked in against your body. Next is another great shoulder exercise. Pull your shoulder blades together, keep your shoulders and elbows still, and just rotate your hands high. Don't force how far back they go, just try and get that movement nice and consistent. To help gauge your progression of this exercise, you can do this against a flat wall. Just make sure your heels are right against the wall and your hips and your back is flat against the wall. Keep your elbows tucked against the wall and then try and get your hands all the way back to touch the wall. Equally the same for the previous exercise. Keep your elbows tucked against the wall and your body and try and get your hands as close to the wall as possible. You can also do this exercise with light weights. It doesn't need to be very heavy at all, once you've got the position correct and the posture is correct. Next is a really challenging exercise. So keep your shoulder blades pulled together. And the idea is you keep your elbows and your hands connected to the wall. Also your hips and your heels should be touching the wall as well. Arms go up straight as they can. You may have to stop before your arms straighten. If your elbows or hands come off the wall, then you've gone too far. Take your time. Hands, elbows attached to the wall and go as high as you can comfortably go. Next, we're going to be in a 4-point plank position, so knees and hands on the floor. Nice flat back. Extend your arm through your body and lift it high, trying to squeeze behind the shoulder blade. Keep your arm nice and straight and really think about that muscle in between your shoulder blade. You should be able to squeeze it tight at the top. Next is a similar exercise we did before, but you've got gravity as a resistance helping you make that exercise harder. Keep your elbow tucked against your body, keep your shoulder blade back. you're trying to rotate your shoulder backwards and keep your elbow tucked in tight. You can also do that exercise with a light weight to make it even more challenging as well. Again, it's not about how heavy we lift, it's more about the quality and the consistency and making sure that technique is correct. Next, you're going to have your forehead flat on the floor to make sure your head is in line with your spine. Hands about right angles towards you, so elbows right out to the side. Pull your shoulder blades together and lift your hands and elbows up together. The idea is we're engaging the muscles behind our shoulders, which really helps with our posture. These muscles don't get enough work. Whenever we're training or we're sat at a desk or doing these things, they're just not getting activated enough. So these simple exercises help improve that. To make it a bit harder, you can do that same position and extend your arm nice and straight. Now this is very, very difficult and very similar to the exercise we did against the wall, but you've got to keep that tension behind your shoulder blades and extend the arms out nice and straight. Please don't fully extend your arms straight if you feel any pain or it ruins your posture in any way. Also, palms facing, arms out nice and straight. Pull your shoulder blades together and pause at the top, lifting your arms as high as possible. Keep your palms facing each other and squeeze on the top of your shoulders nice and high. And our final exercise for today, make sure your palms are facing the ceiling, pull your shoulder blades back, squeeze behind those shoulder blades and lift the hands as high as you can. When you're bringing your arms back down, try not to relax your shoulder blades until the very end. Some people bring their shoulder blades down first and that curves your back into the unusual position it normally is in. So let's make sure we keep our shoulder blades tucked together as we slowly lower our arms back down.